Imagine a whole day passing in silence. No phone calls. No laughter. No stories shared. Slowly. It's not just your home that becomes quiet, your heart and mind begin to grow cold, too. The walls still stand, but the emptiness inside you grows larger. You can hear every tick of the clock, as if it's reminding you that time is passing, and there's no one beside you to walk through it. And then, that feeling of fatigue, sluggishness, and loss of interest creeps into every morning, every afternoon, every long night. But you know what? Just a single 10-15-minute conversation each day, a burst of laughter, or a warm hand holding yours, your heart begins to warm again. Your mind feels sharper. And suddenly, life regains its colors. Science has proven that social connection doesn't just make you happier, it slows down aging, lowers your risk of heart disease, and reduces the chances of dementia. In today's video, I'm going to show you how these small connections can become the most valuable medicine for both your heart and your brain, and how to keep them alive, even if you think it's too late to start. And I want you to stay until the very end of this video, because in the last part, I'll share a simple yet powerful secret that has helped hundreds of my older patients overcome loneliness, improve memory, and feel like life is worth living every single day. If this topic speaks to you, hit like so I know you're here with me. Share this video with someone you care about, because who knows, just one small conversation might change their entire day. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so every week we can talk about the things that make growing older more beautiful and more meaningful. When we're young, it feels like we're always surrounded by laughter, conversations, and countless relationships. Work, children, friends, all of it keeps our circle of connections wide and full. But after 60, that circle begins to shrink. Our children grow up and start families of their own. Friends meet less often. And sometimes, loved ones leave us forever. If we don't make the effort to open our hearts, loneliness will quietly slip in, slowly wearing down both our hearts and our minds. From my many years of working with older adults, I can tell you this with certainty. Social connection isn't just about keeping your spirits up like many people believe. It's a vital part of health, as essential as a balanced diet or regular exercise. Science backs this up. A 2019 study published in JAMA found that older adults who maintain strong social connections have a 40% lower risk of depression, a 30% lower risk of dementia, and a 25% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. These numbers aren't just statistics, they're proof of the power behind a warm handshake, a phone call to check in, or an afternoon spent sipping tea and talking with someone you care about. When you engage in conversation, laugh, or take part in community activities, your body releases serotonin and endorphins, the happy hormones that help lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and improve memory. On the other hand, prolonged loneliness triggers higher production of cortisol, the stress hormone which weakens the immune system, impairs memory, and can even speed up brain aging. In other words, social connection is like a workout for both your heart and your brain. And the best part is, this workout doesn't require a gym, special equipment, or any membership fees, only a heart willing to open its door. I want to share with you a true story about a woman I can never forget whenever this topic comes up. Her name is Linda, 80 years old. After her husband passed away, she moved to a new city where she didn't know a single person. In the early days, she rarely left the house. The silence was so deep that she could hear every tick of the clock. Over time, she began to feel tired. Her memory faded, and her mood grew darker. One day, during a checkup, I asked her, Do you often talk with anyone? She gave a faint, sad smile and said, I don't think I've had a conversation longer than 5 minutes in the past week. When I looked into her eyes, I knew her body was missing something just as important as any vitamin connection. I encouraged her to try joining a community activity, and she chose a local library's book club. In the first week, she simply sat quietly, listening like a newcomer unsure if she belonged. By the second week, she began adding a few small comments. And then, after just 1 month, she had a new circle of friends. Every week, they met to share not only good books but also everyday stories about neighbors, family, or the cake someone had just tried baking. She also started calling her sister every evening. Not to discuss anything important, sometimes just to say whether it was raining or sunny, or to describe the meal she had cooked. 6 months later, Linda came back for a follow-up. Her face was glowing. Her memory had noticeably improved. Her blood pressure was more stable, and she told me, I feel like I'm 10 years younger. That was the moment I realized. Sometimes, to live healthier and happier, we don't need to change everything. We just need to open one door so our hearts and minds have a place to step out, to meet, and to be heard. Do you remember when I said that social connection is like a special vitamin for both the heart and the brain? The truth is, that's not just a feeling, it's science. When you talk with someone, your brain doesn't just light up in one single spot. It activates multiple regions at once: language, memory, emotion. Every story, every laugh, even a simple, "How are you?" works like a workout for your brain, helping it maintain and even create new neural connections. In particular, the hippocampus, the library, where our memories are stored, gets constant exercise. That's why memory stays sharper, and the risk of cognitive decline drops significantly. But the effects go beyond the brain. Communication also has a powerful impact on the body. It lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that drains your energy and makes you more vulnerable to illness. When cortisol levels drop, your immune system works better, helping you fight off seasonal illnesses, inflammation, and even chronic health problems more effectively. For your heart, positive conversations, whether face-to-face or over the phone, can help lower blood pressure, improve heart rhythm, and reduce chronic inflammation. And here's the wonderful part. You don't need hours to see these benefits. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day of genuine connection with someone is enough to make a real difference for both your mind and your body. Now, you might be wondering, so, where should I start? The answer is actually very simple. You don't need a complicated plan or a long list of people to talk to. Just choose one person each day. It could be your child, a grandchild, an old friend, or even a neighbor, and give them a call or send them a message. It could be a quick check-in, a good morning greeting, or simply sharing a fond memory. If you have the chance, try joining an activity group you enjoy: a book club, a morning walking group, a cooking class, or even a community gardening session. If you're hesitant to go out or your health makes it difficult, you can still connect through online meetups. The important thing isn't the format, it's keeping the connection consistent and genuine. After working with hundreds of older adults, I've seen the same principle over and over again. Quality matters more than quantity. A meaningful conversation where you truly listen and are truly heard leaves far more warmth and meaning than 10 shallow exchanges. And when you start maintaining these kinds of connections, day after day, week after week, you'll begin to notice your heart feels stronger, your mind feels sharper, and your spirit feels more at peace. In the next part, I'll share the simple secrets to turning this kind of connection into a lasting habit so that no matter how busy life gets, or even if your health has its ups and downs, you'll still keep that vital bond with the people who matter most in your life. You see, what I shared earlier was only the first glimpse of the bigger picture. In reality, social connection isn't just about finding joy or passing the time, it's a special kind of vitamin for the soul. A precious tonic for both your heart and your mind. And the best part? It's completely free. All it takes is a little openness and a small step forward from you. Starting tomorrow, you can begin in the simplest way. Pick up the phone and call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Send a quick message to check in. Or step outside and greet a neighbor as you take a walk. Every smile, every story shared, is another step toward a healthier, sharper, and happier later life. If today's video gave you a new idea or even just the motivation to reconnect, I hope you'll click like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe so we can continue walking this journey of health and joy together after 60. I'll see you in the next video.